Hey, quick question. Quick question for you.
Yeah.
What do you call the wrapping paper left over from opening presents?
I don't know.
From opening presents, what do you call it?
I don't know.
A Christmas. Hello, and welcome back to Xpwaste, where for what I think is the 12th bingo in a row, my team has placed higher than Michael's team. Hi, and welcome back to the final episode of Xpwaste in 2025. I'm Oxie.
And I'm Michael, who could have beat Oxie had I not died basically for 3 days. So, if you're new around here,
for sure, King.
Yeah. If you're new around here, welcome to Xpwaste. We're a show that talks primarily about old school RuneScape. We say primarily because there's that 1 in 10,000 chance that somebody's going to get offended. So if you're not new around here, welcome back. Happy December. It's almost Christmas in the US. Happy Hanukkah, I think. My mom wants to do a Hanukkah thing this year, so we'll see. But yeah, hi Oxie. I haven't talked to you in literally 8 years.
It's been a long... Bingo is always a good time because it's the only time of year where Michael and I do not interact on a daily basis. It's truly the only time of year where Michael and I, we normally check in on each other. We're in VCs. I think Michael texted me one thing throughout the week. And which, side note, I think I have a trauma response to people DMing me during bingo. I think so many years of being an admin in TNL and running these events that whenever somebody messages me, I assume it's bad. There are people in the community who, when I see their names pop up on my phone or pop up on my Discord, I see their little profile picture with the little red one next to it. Something went wrong. Something went wrong. Somebody's leaving the clan. There's a meltdown happening. I need to go be a mod somewhere. We fucked up a bingo. I just know that something bad has happened when some people DM me. So Michael DMs me in the middle of bingo. And I think to myself, I don't know what the fuck just happened. I don't know if I have the energy for this. But here we go. And he actually killed a manticore and cleared wave 4 in Coliseum and just wanted to tell me about it. So, side note, if you message me during bingo and I don't immediately respond, it's because I think it's something bad. So I'm just going to tell you, all several hundred of you, if I receive a DM, I am going to assume it is bad. I don't know how to fix that. Anyways, but yeah, this is 1 week a year where Michael and I don't really talk.
Yeah.
At all. This and Springo, we don't really communicate too much because we have only been on a bingo team once. That was the Wilderness bingo we did years ago, back when we randomly generated teams.
I want to be on a team with you. And I don't know how I'm going to make that happen, because I think the ball is entirely in your court for this venture, and I don't know how to convince you otherwise.
Here's how it goes. I don't captain. You pick me up in the first round. Because while I am not a first round draft pick, I am relative to my fantasy score. I think I scored the lowest. I have the lowest ratio on my team for fantasy, how much I was worth in fantasy to how much I produce, which I always get quite the kick out of. I think I was worth 37 points or $37, and I think I scored 41 points. Yeah, so barely.
Damn.
Everybody else blew their projected scores out of the water, So for the longest time until about Thursday, I was actually negative in the fantasy buy-in. So you would have to draft me first because I am known.
Damn.
I'm known to people.
Right.
So I think you'd have to draft me first.
Yeah. If you're not going to be one of the people who is unavailable, you would go pretty quickly, I think, just for the vibes.
But it's not because I'm a fucking goated player. I think it's because I help run the Discord and people know who I am. If I go after the second round, that'd be fantastic. Gentleman's agreement to not draft Oxie in the first round. But I don't think there will ever be a day where I'm not a captain in a TNL bingo. So that would mean that you don't play.
And you wouldn't pick me in the first
round.
That
would mean that you don't captain. And I would have to find I have to be hey guys, I'm drafting Michael. But nobody touch him till round 5.
Oh my god!
I gotta get the band back together, and then we'll add Michael to the squad.
Am I gonna be a third wheel then? because I don't want that to happen.
No. We'll get you in. It's in TNL. I don't think it's ever going to be possible for Michael and I to be on a team together.
Mm-mm.
A fifth wheel. Ask Tiki. There's a lot of extra wheels that can be added to our team. Next event is Oxie versus everyone. Oxie's going to get his ass kicked. Oxie doesn't get drops.
Yeah, Oxie would just quit.
No, I wouldn't quit. I would try. I would get my ass kicked. I contributed to the thing I contributed the most to on my team this bingo was Revenants. Because 2350 worlds are abandoned.
Oh.
And I just went to 2350 and just like hunted Maldictus the entire time. All my other teammates were like, oh God, Maldictus on world 472. Everybody go. No, wait, this guy has 3 keys. And then you just get notifications of all of our buddies dying in the CC. I went to 2350 worlds, saw one person, ran up on him with my blue skull and said, hey, are we chill? ? And he turned tail and ran. I'm like, okay, I guess I'll take the free kill.
That was easy.
So that's what I was able to contribute. But bingo was a lot of fun. Needless to say, we're both coming off of bingo week. We're both very, very, very busy. We both, I assume, did a lot of content. You said that you were out for 3 days.
Yeah,
what
dude.
happened?
I started working for my father-in-law on Monday, and he runs a stone business where he like cuts stone and it's used as like sidings on buildings and stuff.
I wondered why you were cutting them bricks in the chat the one day.
Yeah. So there's cool stuff in the works that I'll probably talk about later this year or next year rather, as far as like what I'm going to be doing for a job. But as far as what I did this week, so Monday and Tuesday I was working out in the yard, and I am not weak, right? I'm probably, I would say, average or below average strength for my size and age and weight.
Yeah.
But doing manual labor of any kind, I've noted, I have seen will put me on my ass. So basically, I woke up Wednesday and my legs felt like 2x4s because they were so sore. And I forgot to take my medicine on Tuesday, I think. So then on Wednesday, I woke up with a migraine and was basically down for the count until like Wednesday evening. So working Monday, Tuesday, getting home at like 5:30, taking a shower, and then basically wanting to go to bed immediately kept me from logging in for, I think I put a screenshot in my team chat. It was like 3 days and 12 hours or something.
Oof.
It was a long time. And in bingo terms, that's a long time to not be.
It's the whole event right there. Damn.
Like not logging in at all during those 3 days. And then on Thursday, I played for a few hours because having not done anything around the house for 3 days, I had to be a responsible adult. So yeah, like I played a lot on Saturday, almost the whole day. I got off a couple times. And then on Sunday, I played a bit. And then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, basically nothing. So the thing that I contributed to my team, which I'm very proud of and happy to announce, if you've been listening to the show for any amount of time, you've probably heard that I've been dry on a Pharaoh Scepter. Like when I say dry, I'm talking desert level dry, 2 to 3 times the rate to get one.
It's been pretty funny, honestly.
Funny is a word.
It's been rough.
It's been rough. I would say more rough than funny. But this bingo, the dry streak has come to an end, finally. And I got one after about 50 or 60 runs during bingo. My team was threatening to show up. And I think that was the motivation I needed to just stay there until it happened. And I got that, what was it? Saturday night, I think I got it. Because we opened up Rallos pretty quickly. It might have been Sunday. It might have been actually Sunday night. But my team was threatening me with going to Pyramid Plunder to like snipe one from underneath me again, because I think that's happened like the last 2 or 3 bingos that I've been actively going for a Pharaoh Scepter. Is I'll be there for a while and then some guy shows up 5 minutes later, gets it. So this year it was me. I did it. And I'm very happy with that. If I contributed nothing else to bingo except for a Pharaoh Scepter, which I don't think I contributed much else, I'm happy. I'm very happy. But it was a good event. I've heard very, very positive reviews all around. Waiting eagerly to read all the feedback that you guys have for us
Yeah.
in the sheet or in the form that should have been out by now. So if you haven't given your feedback yet, please do it while it's still fresh. If you were the one,
Yeah.
if you were one who played in the bingo.
I agree. There should at some point be a feedback form that by the time this episode comes out should already be out.
Yeah.
But just in case for some reason it is not, let us know. We should get that to you because it should be out. There's no reason why it shouldn't be out. But
bingo is great, man.
I think bingo was impeccable. I had a great time doing bingo. I think the biggest notable difference that I saw, and I don't know about you, right, was people were in VC the entire time. I think it's because we didn't release the standings.
Yeah. Yeah. That was
I think
actually
not releasing the standings was very helpful.
Agreed. Because normally they're available from the start. And so what tends to happen, and it's happened to me before, is by like Monday or Tuesday, it's the start of a work week potentially, and life starts to creep in. You just played a couple, like 2 days during the weekend. Monday or Tuesday, your team is like in the bottom half. And you're like, well, I have to be a person and I have real life responsibilities. And maybe like that just zaps all the motivation from wanting to play even further. So it's definitely happened to me. But this time we didn't actually release any standings until the end. Like bingo had finished. I had an idea of who was going to win just based on the amount of hours their VC has been open. And it's still open to, as we're recording. Oh no, they finally closed it. But the RNG refugees, I think they got their VC to 197 hours of continuous VC openage,
which is insane.
Yes, if we do how many days that is, I think that's over 8 days straight of having the VC. Yeah, over 8 days of having that VC open without it closing.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Bonkers. So what wins bingo, Oxie? Hours
win bingos. And that's a lot of hours to put in. I gotta commend them on the victory. I gotta commend everyone, the top 3 folks on their victory. I think let me double check here and see who those top 3 were. It was RNG refugees, the efficient hours beavered, and Farlamore vermin, which is exactly who I thought it was going. Like the minute we let all the Euro boys on a team together, and the minute we let fucking Elvin and Cloud and Riley and Shinkiro get on a team together, I just kind of knew. I'm like, yeah, those are going to be the top teams. 100%. Those are going to be the top teams.
Normally we see a big push from Ibu and Hunchy, captain and co-captain, but I think they took it easy this year, which I'm not mad at. Sometimes
they still finished 7th,
right? Like they, I feel like they took it easy, but they're still in the top 10, which is crazy. But no, I didn't. Like the RNG refugees came out of nowhere for me. What a sleeper pick right there. But again, 197 or 198 hours in VC, you're bound to have something good happen. So I think we had other teams like that weren't far behind. I think I saw another VC that was at like 140 something hours. So we had more than just one team really, really pushing it. Overall, great event.
Yeah.
Great event.
It was a fantastically fun time. The Filthy Oars, the team I was on, you guys are awesome. I loved being on the Filthy Oars. Absolute banger of a name too.
That's a pretty good name. Because if you say it with an accent, sounds like Filthy Oars.
And that was the point, baby. The Filthy Oars. It was a great time. We had a bunch of fun like music soundboards. Like we had the Pirates of the Caribbean bass boosted. We have some SpongeBob quotes. The classic for the week was "Don't worry, Captain. We'll buff out those scratches." That was pretty regular. But my team, I don't know why. I think I might kind of be a curse on my bingo team. If I'm being entirely honest, I think I might have some cursed RNG because every bingo team I seem to play on, we hit a wall. This time, the wall was Zulrah. It took us probably 400 Zulrah to get a Spirit Seed, which is not that rare.
Damn.
Shouldn't be that rare anyways. Let me look it up here. Let me pull the stats just so I can complain about my RNG live on the pod. Or my Wi-Fi just isn't going to load internet pages. Maybe I guess I'll go fuck myself. So I'll just go off vibes, I guess. We did probably like 400 Zulrah as a team. Saw all the uniques we needed for the Zulrah tile that wasn't unlocked yet.
No.
So we can get that goddamn Spirit Seed. That took forever. We did like 300 or 400 Krill. No Staff of the Dead, which I understand is a 1 in 508. But still just feels bad. Staff of the Dead never feels like a good drop to get. The worst of the worst, on Wednesday night, we did Chambers. We needed a Chambers weapon or an Ancestral piece to unlock either Seren or Zaros. That was our whole thing. We needed to unlock Seren or Zaros. And when we did, on Wednesday, we played... What time did I start playing on Wednesday? Maybe noon-ish? I did have some government-mandated boyfriend time for a little bit, made them miss his dinner. But then other than that, I think we sent Chambers from probably noon to, I kid you not, we wrapped up our last raid at 6:25 a.m. Not a single
next day?
fucking purple.
Huh?
I was up till 8 a.m.
Not one?
I stayed up till 8 a.m. on Thursday. We vowed to stay awake until the sun rose. And me, Steel Beams, Nate, Tiki, Toilet, we were all up forever. Rune was up hanging for a while. Is Rune in the recording booth chat right now antagonizing us? Hold on, let me see. He's not in here, funny enough, but I drafted Rune. We were up forever.
Bro.
Forever. We were up for so long. White light. We were running those Mickey Mouse CMs, which was a lot of fun. And it was only fun because when you do 6 or 7 of the like, that was a stupid joke we had all week too. Just like 6, 7, just memeing on it. When you do all those Mickey Mouse CMs back to back, it gets kind of mechanical, which is good because a lot of the people that we were running with hadn't really done CMs other than Nate and I. And I got so bored and wanted something that was entertaining. So I put us in an actual CM and didn't tell them. I thought they were going to notice at Tecton when Tecton had double the HP he normally does, but nobody picked up on it. They're just like, dude, Vespula's beating my ass. Boss is beating my ass. Like Vanguards are beating our ass. Like when we were at Vespula in the CM, we killed the portal the same tick the grub spawned.
Okay.
And I'm like, guys, we were 3 ticks away from wiping the room.
Oh,
like we almost had to wipe the raid right there. We got through it. And we made time.
Nice.
And I was like, not bad for a first CM of bingo. And they were like, that wasn't a CM. I'm like, yeah, go check the KC. Sure enough, I dragged them through a CM unknowingly, which that was fun for me anyways. And then, yeah, that was bad. That was a bad RNG wall. I think in a span of less than 24 hours, we did 80 cumulative Chambers as Eric.
And not a single purple?
Not a single purple. We got an Arcanelet the next night, which sucked because we got an Arcane on our first purple of our first raid of bingo. So the Arcane was a dupe for the tile.
Oh, no.
That didn't count. But we put the Omelet on Ancestral.
Okay.
Opened up the Wilderness and had a great time with that. So we went way more dry than I expected us to. A lot of places. And I think I might be the curse. But I think I have some ways around that curse that, coming 2026, we're going to build out the core group a little bit and we're going to see. That's the plan.
Does that mean you're going to play in your GIM 2026? Change up the account? See which account that's cursed?
Oh, that's he's a funny guy. He's a funny guy, that Michael.
I mean, you have a shadow
Anyways.
on the GIM.
No, the group has a shadow.
Which you could
I
use.
don't have a shadow. The group has a shadow. The group that would be knocking at my door asking for the shadow on different teams. That is who would have the shadow. So it's a detriment to my team and to the group Iron Man team to have me play on the GIM because none of the other GIM mates are going to be on my team. It's just not going to be beneficial, if I'm on a different team.
Speaking of GIM mates, I was able to get Ralph on our team, and I had Fear as my co-captain. So having us 3 was pretty fun. But the 3 days that I was out kind of zapped all motivation from me. And whenever I was on, I was just doing after Friday, I was just doing silly stuff. But I mean, I didn't go on a single raid all week, which I find looking back to be very sad. And I will be making up for that come Springo because, dude, like I just didn't do it. And oh yeah, and Tiki says Michael let Ralph change his IGN. He did it on Saturday night, I think, or Friday night, and I was not in a good headspace to recognize that. Hey, Ralph, you shouldn't do that.
SMH, brother. SMH. We have players do one thing. One rule.
Don't change your name. But he did it. It's fine, I guess. There wasn't like I don't think he played at all on Saturday. So it semi worked out. He probably could have done it earlier in the week had he thought about it. But shout out to Ralph. I think that Springo is going to be a lot of fun. With the group that we have now in the event planners, while we kind of procrastinated and bingo planning kind of butted up to the last minute, we put on a great event, and all the feedback that we've gotten so far has been fairly positive, saying like, I mean, besides a couple of tiles being locked behind other tiles that weren't ideal, I don't think we had really any issues with this board, any issues with this bingo.
No, I think a lot of the concerns people had, the two notable problem children were that we locked Yama behind Yama and we locked Doom behind Doom.
Yeah.
Those were the only two that stand out in my mind as like, okay, that was an oversight. We probably fucked that up.
Yeah.
But the people who were complaining about Dagannoth Kings, I don't know, brother. It's spined armor. Just get the drop. You know? Which I understand why it feels bad. At the same time, I don't entirely agree that it was as detrimental as Doom and Yama, relatively speaking. I think Doom and Yama were bad oversights, and we'll see how it goes in the fall, but we may end up dialing it back a bit with the fall bingo. You know, Tiki used the phrase, we keep trying to jump the shark too much with fall bingos and making them more and more convoluted, which has been fun, don't get me wrong. But on the same token, it does allow for a lot of difficulty, and I don't know if people always love that. So if you're one of the people who doesn't like the gimmicks, which is meant to be just like a silly little gimmick thing in fall bingo, I don't know. There's still going to be a gimmick. We're just trying to figure out what it is.
Yeah, that's the for the listeners out there who may not have been around that long. So TNL, the clan that we have, does 2 bingos a year. We do a Springo and a fall bingo. What we call Springo is just like your stock standard, tiles. There's no gimmick. There's nothing crazy that you have to worry about. It's usually, I mean, normally a 7x7 or 8x8. We've been having to push it with just the amount of people that we've had. I don't know that we'll do a 10x10 for Springo. That seems wild.
A lot.
That's a lot.
It's a lot of tiles.
That's a lot of tiles. But in the fall is when we kind of do silly stuff. Like this last bingo that we just had that we're recapping here was our skill tree bingo 2. And you had tiles that you had to complete to then unlock more tiles. And it comes from the idea of having a skill tree where you unlock certain things and then other more cool things become available to you. And so this time around we kind of revisited skill tree bingo, because I think the last time it was in 2022, right? 2023. Okay. Yeah, so 2023 we had our first skill tree bingo, and that I feel like that board actually did get blacked out, funny enough. But we've definitely upped the ante when it comes to bingo, and I'm excited for what we can do in the spring as far as like the content that we have available to put on a board. And we experimented with a lot of cool things this year. We experimented with partial points, which I think the
partial point system was so good.
Yeah, it was real good, because there was a time, like one specific example of how partial points were used strategically. So one of my teammates, I think it was RC's, got the Hubert pet early on, and he had just saved it because there was 2 different tiles that had Huey drops on it. One was like Huey hides, and another one was a Dragon Hunter wand. And if I had put the Hubert pet for the hides tile, it was only going to be like 1.5 points. But I put it on the Dragon Hunter wand tile, and it ended up giving us like an extra 3 points. Not a huge, not a huge example of that, but for one item being worth different point values on different tiles, it was really cool to think of that. Think of that strategically. Like, what can I go for now that would result in more points? Say you don't have a lot of time to play and you want to figure out what, like, by the time it came to the end of the week, we're like, Barrows is just not worth it. For how many points you get and how many different drops there are, it's not worth it. Let's push for Moons. And Moons ended up being the one that we pushed for and actually got done. So I'm excited to see how we can iterate with partial points, and the values that Tiki came up with, I think were perfect, but we can always improve and change things and try different things later.
Yeah, or at least revisit to see if like maybe this is or is not like the good mathematical system. Because if we have to clean up any numbers or adjust them in the future, sure. I was so against partial points for so many years. I did not like the idea of partial points for so long because I had no idea how the fuck we were going to calculate them. Like that was the biggest issue that I had, is like, how the fuck are we going to calculate partial points? And then we got people who know how to do math and know how to work spreadsheets, and it became super easy to do partial points to the point where I was like, oh, I mean, shit, sure, we can do it.
It'd be bad not to at that point, because
and it went so well that I don't see a world in which we don't do partial points again. I think partial points helped motivate teams to go for tile. I'm shocked you guys did not do the Barrows tile. Honestly, I thought for sure you would have had that done, no problem. You're a big Barrows guy. But other than that, I really think it was a bang on event. I think some things are probably going to carry over into Springo, notably like partial points are going to carry over into Springo. If I was a betting man. I know we had prestige tiles last bingo. We'll talk about adding that back in. We'll talk about like standardizing some things. And I know you said that like we planned up until the last minute. That's only partially true. We had the board probably 90% done by the beginning of October.
Yeah.
But what happened is fucking Gridmaster came out.
And
Gridmaster, the original release of bingo was supposed to be like 3 or 4 weeks ago, and Gridmaster fucked that up. So we had to move it. And the plan for next fall bingo next year in 26 is going to be to have it earlier in October, before a league, before a dead man mode, before a grid master or whatever. It's going to be earlier in the fall. Like it'll still be a fall bingo, but it won't be a proper like in late fucking November like it was this year. That was part of the procrastination, is we had so much work done, we had so much momentum, and then it was like, damn, we actually have to move bingo.
Yeah.
And then it just sort of like, but most of the stuff leading up to it the week prior was like crossing T's, dotting I's, balancing the board as best we possibly could. And I think for a bingo with minimal oversight issues, this was the smoothest one we've run yet. So we're going to try to make sure that all bingos run this smoothly going forward. We appreciate you guys for being on board with this bingo and its weird theme. I know the tiles, unlocking tiles. I mentioned, so when I made the video, right? I made a video for the people who played in bingo to kind of like show what the game rules were. As I was making the bingo, the other 7 admins, those fuckers, changed the shape of the board while I was making the video. So the information was not accurate when it came out of what the board was going to look like. And people had a very hard time adjusting spatially when the board came out. We had to like actually release the board a couple of different times to make sure, like, add the arrows in the right places so people knew what added what. It was much easier to follow on the spreadsheet, I think, when you actually got your team spreadsheet.
Yeah.
I think Rune Guy did a great job of that, but like presenting it to people, people did have a hard time knowing where to go just because of not knowing what went where. And Tiki said, yeah, the super high effort video. I just had to get it done. We had to record that Monday, and I had to make this quick little video in like 2.5 hours and then record and then do a bingo meeting afterwards. So it was a busy woman that night. But no, it was fun. I think this bingo went great. You guys as players went great, most of you.
Nice of you.
But I would agree. I'm very excited for next year. I'm excited to not only get the band back together, but get in the workshop with the band, Get out there and see like how can we cook? How can the usual suspects get up there? Because not knowing the scores, I thought we were better off than we were. When I found out at one point we were in like fucking 17th place, I was like, what? And we put, because I found that out late. So for the Filthy Ores, I knew what place we were in on like Wednesday night, Thursday morning, and just kept the vibe. It was at like 6 a.m. really. It was like after we did all the raids. It was like probably 6:45, 7 a.m. We're like, let's just look at the standings. It's me, Tiki, and Nate, just the three of us. Let's look at the standings. He said 17th. I went, bitch, what the fuck? How am I in 17th place? And we put the pedal to the metal the next day. We got Wilderness done in an hour. We finished Void Waker very quick. I got back-to-back Void Waker Gem and Fangs of Venenatus, and we were absolutely killing it in the Wilderness. And we finished 16th place. I was like, what the fuck? So, despite still beating Michael, we did not place very well. I don't care as much. I think as a team, the usual suspects, we all want to be a little bit more competitive. But the vibes were immaculate all week long. There was no like, what's the point? We're not going to catch up. There was none of that, which was so good for this bingo. And I think we keep the scores hidden from here on out.
Oh, yeah. 100%. And it's not even like, even to that point, I really didn't even care to look. So like when even the bingo admins don't want to see the score, it's the right decision. Because I don't care about winning, but it's so weird. Like having constant knowledge of where you are in the race, with it being mostly an RNG thing. This is not something where you can just be better. It really comes down to RNG. Paul Mohadib said earlier that they got the Soulflame Horn in 1 KC. And then you have teams like where Oxie said they did several hundred Zora to get a Spirit Seed. So like something that should be easy, it's completely up to RNG at the end of the day. And so just thinking about where you are in the race, if it's up to RNG, there's nothing you can do to be better except just put in the time.
We also killed 8,000 fires. I forgot to mention that.
Oh shit, dude. What?
The blood shard is 1 in 1,500. I was on the wiki with Tiki and Nate doom searching. I'm like, I think we're doing something wrong. I was going crazy. I'm like, I think there's a different kind of Firewatch Sentinel. I don't think we're killing the right ones. I think we have to be on task, guys. I think I don't think they drop them from kills anymore. We killed over 8,000 as a team.
That's gross.
I killed 1,000. Quest Caper killed 1,200. Blitz killed 3,000. She killed over 1,000. We were well over, and like other people had like multiple Slayer tasks worth of fires killed. It was awful. That took up so much time to get that fucking blood shard. It was all the AFK time we had. But
crazy.
I guess before we move on to the next little bit, the other new thing we added this bingo that I kind of really liked, but we'll have to look at the stats and see if it's worth doing again. What are your thoughts on Equilibrium?
I don't know, bro. I looked at your team's Equilibrium and like y'all went unreasonably hard. I didn't see any other team's Equilibrium, but like your lowest skill had like 650k XP. Like who was doing all this skilling? That's
I drafted some crazy fuckers on my team. I am not gonna lie. I drafted some absolute psychopaths.
Yeah, you had like 1.2 million prayer XP.
What? So part of that was we drafted Iron Men, right? Like
Yeah.
Between Jack and Thoggart. Thoggart was sitting with us one night. She's like, hey, I have some bone shards I could do for equilibrium. We're like, whatever, it's account progression. She checks in like an hour later. She goes, all right, that should be about 800,000 per XP. We're like, Thoggart, what the fuck? She's like, yeah, I've just been sitting on bones for a
Oh my
while.
gosh.
So we had people doing like, we did power hours. That was our tactic. For anyone out there listening, if you want a really fun thing to do with your team, is if you're a captain or if you're a player, if it's a TNL or not, rip a power hour. Do an hour of Barrows, do an hour of Zulrah, do an hour of equilibrium skilling where like, you know, construction was one of them where we needed construction XP. So we did like I think it was like a power 30 minutes of construction that some people did. We had two to fly out here making fucking tables. He's like, I don't care about the money. I just want the XP because so many people need to progress their accounts. And I think because of that, so many players who have been putting off grinds contributed and it went great. We ended up with 964,000 agility XP.
Yeah, why? How? Why? What?
Diary lamps because
Oh my
my
gosh.
scrub ass team for some reason doesn't ever do their diaries. So once bingo started and I caught wind of the fact that like 5 or 6 of them didn't have fucking easy diaries done, I started putting belt to ass and made people like stop what they were doing to go finish diaries. Like people, like I was trying to take steel beams with me to God Warriors. I said, how many keys can you hold? He said 3. I said, wrong fucking answer. And I made him go do a diary. I made Blitz go do diaries. Chi was doing, I was putting everybody through the ringer with diaries. Because ain't no fucking way you roll up without all your easy. The fact that you roll up to bingos without anything, with anything less than all of your medium diaries complete, baffling to me.
Yeah, it's kind of
absolutely baffling.
Because then you're just locking yourself out of
Shocking to me.
content.
Exactly. So you don't have it done, boo-hoo. Especially if you have the skills.
Yeah.
Oh God. If your skills are in the right place, there's no excuse. I'll give you a fucking T-bow to go kill a boss if you need to. Oh, you gotta kill Chaos Elemental? Whatever. Twisted Bow. Take care of it. I don't care.
In the wilderness?
There's no reason you're not. Before Crossbow was really good, yes. You would take T-bow if you didn't, because I feel like years and years ago, Crossbow used to be really expensive.
Yeah, it was like 25 mil or something.
Yeah, but if you already had a T-bow from other things, it's like, why spend the 25 mil? I can just take T-bow. But this is old tech. I mean, like, here for a reference, a Dusty for you Dusties, Diary Pure BTW old tech. So Michael's like, God damn.
Yeah,
it's like
that's
5 or 6 years ago
5
at this point.
2020.
5 or 6 years ago. Yeah, that's a long time. But no, I liked Equilibrium. I thought it was a lot of fun. It pushed account progression, which we really like in bingos.
I think for me, I would have to vote no, unless it's a fall bingo.
Really?
Yeah. Maybe it's because my team, our lowest skill, I think was like construction or something. And we had 250K. And at that point, unless you've got banked XP or you're rich or you've got diary lamps, it seems kind of a little imbalanced, I would say, to expect people to spend money or save up lamps for a bingo. Like account progression's cool, but I don't think that I would want to see it all like as a returning tile every single time. Maybe if we lowered the threshold and it had the max like points cap out sooner rather than at 2 mil, might be cool.
Rune Guy suggested we do it logarithmically like they do in the game, where the first couple of levels are like really easy to do, so it promotes people getting points, and then the next couple of levels are more difficult. But
gotcha. Oh, Brian M just confirmed our lowest skill was at prayer with 418K. It's actually higher than I thought it was. Maybe people got on the, put a little effort there at the end, but yeah, I don't know. I think we'll have to really talk about it next time and see what the other people are feeling, and even consult the feedback form and see if anybody has any other thoughts about Equilibrium.
Yeah, definitely. Give us your thoughts on Equilibrium. If you've already filled out the form, we'll tell you right now, we know we fucked up with Yama and Doom. Other than that, I don't know. Michael, we're not here to talk about bingo, though, funny enough. Like, we are talking about bingo. It was the first probably 40 minutes of this episode was talking about bingo. But at the end of every year, we do, as you guys have seen in the title of this episode, the Xpwaste Year in Review. Now, sometimes we have fun little stats. Sometimes we do little highlights. And we do have Achievement of the Year here in the second portion of this episode. So thank you guys for reacting to that. But I'm curious, Michael, where do you want to start for Achievement of the Year? Do you want to talk about our goals or do you want to talk about the show in general?
Let's talk about the show.
Okay. What are some highlights that come to the top? I got a couple in mind.
RuneFest was a big highlight. I wish that as far as our little vlog episode goes, that the audio could have been better. We know what to do for next time. And I think literally next time we just need to get better microphones. Like we make
iPhone microphones at this point. It's reliable at least. No, it's not good, but it's reliable.
We make enough extra money from Patreon that we can afford like nice lapel microphones that are not $30 cheap microphones off a TikTok shop, you know? So if we are going to do a vlog style thing next time we get together or we go to a RuneFest or something, I say we splurge for nicer microphones.
We splurge for nicer microphones. You know what we fucking do next year? We record some shit the night before. We like go to Meyer and we record it together on our phones with our audios. And then we take it to the computer that night.
And we look at it.
And we see how them fucking microphones sound before we get a weekend's worth of content in a different fucking continent.
Yeah.
And then come home and realize, ooh,
this
sounds like shit. Like,
yeah, because it's a lot different if you're viewing the video on the phone that you just recorded it on versus if you're looking at it in the editing software that you made. So RuneFest was a big highlight. You coming to Texas
was so much fun.
Yeah. I mean, just as an event,
was a blast.
I'm looking forward to the next one that they do. I don't know if I haven't really given it any extra thought as to say, like, am I going to be able to go to every single RuneFest that they have? Because I don't know. I mean, it really depends on when and where it happens, but
it's going to be probably people keep talking about an American RuneFest. I think that would be fine, but at the same time, I think it seems pointless for a British company to bring everyone and their brothers over to the US when most everything is based out of England. Like, yeah, there's a lot of American fans and some American content creators, but I think the ratio is probably still more European than it is American.
Really?
I would be interested to see the stats. Yeah, 100%. I think it's more European than it is American. I'd be interested to see the stats if RuneScape releases them. But I would think, not by much, it's not like an 80-20 split. I'd think it's maybe like 60-40, right? But I would think, even if it's not that, I think 60-40 is, I think, the sweet spot. It's either 60% American or 60% European. Or like that. Now, that's also including like Australia, Asia, other countries like that take up like smaller percentages. But either way, I think Europe is still on top with a marginal percentage. I'd love to go back, but what's my condition? Why I'd love to go back so much? What's the one thing I want if we go back?
I don't know.
Okay, first of all, we're flying straight into Birmingham. If
we're
that
flying
happens.
separately.
Again, we're not. We're flying straight into Birmingham. That's what we're doing. Like, we can fly together. You can meet me in Detroit. That's totally fine. Flying together, I think that's part of the fun. That's part of the hype. If we want to leave separately, that's also totally fine. But I think flying together is fun. We're flying into Birmingham.
Yeah.
Going to Heathrow to save a little bit of money was not worth the struggle that it was to travel. I think, Michael, it was your first time in Europe. Take you to see some sights in London. That was great. That was fun. We've been there. We've done that. We're not fucking doing that again. Right? First of all. Second of all, we're giving ourselves an extra day. If RuneFest ends on Sunday, we're leaving on Tuesday. We're not leaving on Monday. We're leaving on Tuesday. Right? We're giving ourselves that extra day. We're giving ourselves a nice buffer. Right? The third and most important thing, I want those goddamn creators. I don't know how we get them. I don't know how we get there. DM somebody and be like, hey, what up, big dog? It's got to happen.
Yeah. I also want one of the wristbands. Not for the idea that it would make us look cool, but then we would just get to hang out with all the other cool creators in that little room that they had.
Yeah. My mission has always been to get podcasts on the map.
Mm-hmm.
And it seems like they are on the map, just in like, again, I don't want to say the worst possible way. I'm sure the podcast is great. I've never been a podcast listener. Michael knows this. Other than the one that I create, I always try. I hung on with Raids Bank for like 8 or 9 episodes and then got distracted one day and haven't listened since. Not because I don't like them. I'm friends with those guys. I actually know them, right? I've had Heartless on the show. I just don't listen to podcasts. I've never been able to listen to podcasts consistently. I don't have the attention span for it if I'm not driving. So that's been always an issue. I'm sure the episode is great, but they put podcasts on a map by just making their own.
That's true.
And it's like, okay.
Now will
Like,
we
again-
get? Now will we get something cool because like
Exactly.
Golden Gnomes?
We just want the Golden Gnome Award. Are they gonna give themselves the
No,
Golden Gnome?
no.
I think that would be fucking hysterical.
Never has Jagex ever been like they've never nominated themselves for anything. That would just be like
But I think it would be funny if this time they did.
Obama
I think
giving
if
themselves
as the
the award.
community, exactly, as a community, if they open up a podcast, Golden Gnome, we all have to band together to nominate the official Old School RuneScape podcast.
no, Oxie,
because that is just fucking hysterical.
it's funny, but like
XpWaste needs enough votes to be one of the people you vote for, and then we have to vote for the official. Like, we got to get Saybay's community, we get our
No.
community, Raids Bank,
No.
Boon Babe. We all got to come together
No.
and vote for the official podcast.
no.
Because how fucking funny would that be if they win their own award?
Let's just let it be funny in retrospect and like in a hypothetically funny. That would be hypothetically hilarious. Like, and then leave it at that
They
because
win their own award.
we don't need that to actually happen. I want an actual podcast, like not run by the company, to win because that's what I think we deserve.
And for the 5th year in a row, the winner for Best Old School RuneScape Podcast goes to the official Old School RuneScape Podcast.
Yeah, they have like 3 episodes out and they've already won. Like, what the hell?
That would be fantastic. Just year after year, we vote them as the best podcast.
Hypothetically hilarious. Realistically, not going to happen.
No, but
All right, Oxie. I've said one thing about this year. What's on your highlight list for this year?
on the highlight, as far as the show is concerned,
Mhm.
right? The highlight list is we are growing at a pretty legitimate rate where our Spotify partner, who it always feels weird to mention him. Chris is a great guy, but every time we talk about our like official Spotify contact, it feels like I'm making that up, but I'm not. We've like had multiple meetings with this man. He's very helpful whenever we have an issue. Like last week or 2 weeks ago when people were talking about the episode not having any audio, and it seemed like, oh, they're ignoring it. Like, no, we were talking to our partner manager. We could not figure out what the problem. So we apologized last week or 2 weeks ago's episode didn't have a video. We don't know why. It worked on YouTube. It worked on all the other platforms, but for some reason, Spotify, it didn't work. But having Chris reach out to us and be like, hey, we want you guys to do a video for Spotify Wrapped.
Oh yeah.
That was really cool. That's the whole reason why I went to Texas a couple weeks ago. That was like, oh, we're going to be in Wrapped. That feels pretty legit.
Yeah. That is actually
That
pretty
feels
cool.
like a pretty legit thing to have our little show have a video that people were able to watch for Spotify Wrapped. And I think that's awesome. I think that is super cool. So I think that's definitely like a high point as well. I think we're also at the point this year where like we had our first like super viral episode.
Yeah, we did.
We talked about the summer sweep up. It was like 60,000 views, like our first super viral episode. And that's actually contributed to us. I think our current view count is like close to 1.6. So within what feels like a year, we have hit, because I think we hit 1 million views in August of 24.
Mhm.
I think within about a year, we have gotten half of that already.
Yeah.
So, it's just like there's very tangible growth with the show. And we're reaching a lot of people's ear holes, which always feels really great.
Yep, it is 1.6, which is crazy. Yeah, you're right. Like
Here's to you guys.
in a little over a year, we've done more than half of what we did for the first 4 years, which is
Mhm.
crazy. So, I mean, we're gonna hit 2 million next year for sure. I can't see a world where we don't.
I agree. I think we are in a fantastic spot, and again, that's because of you guys. That's because of you guys, the listeners, just being awesome and constantly having us tuned in when you guys are on your drives
Yeah.
or at work. We're glad to help you guys do that. And then being a part of Wrapped was super cool. I think being able to be a part of RuneFest in that capacity would be super cool as a creator. I think, and God, RuneFest was so much fun. RuneFest was a blast. It's a shame that we didn't get to do another like official meetup this year
True.
anywhere else. I
Yeah.
think we have to be some things I think we have to be better about for next year. Number one, we got to have guests more regularly. I think this year was so busy for the both of us that we had some great guests, absolutely phenomenal guests on the show, right? I don't think we had enough of them.
Yeah. I was thinking about that.
I think we have to have more people come on the show as guests, right? We had Zoink Wiz, we had RS Guy. Those are the two most recent ones, I believe. We had Heartless fill in for you one day.
I think we had Hanani twice.
Yep, Hanani was on in January, our classic January Hanani episode, and then she also filled in for me in the summer because I think it was Michael and Hanani, so her and you did that episode, right?
Yep. Other than that, did we have anybody else?
We did, and we're forgetting them, and we look like assholes because we haven't. Wasn't the J mod this year? No, that was Mod Rice was last year. That was right after Varlamore came out. I feel like Mod Rice was in 2024 because we knew him at RuneFest. That's the thing. A lot of the guests that we've talked to were in 2024. Yeah, 2024 was a big guest year, and I think 2026 should also be a big guest year.
We got to get on the DMs
some people
now.
Who we would love to have. Yeah, we have some people we'd love to have on the show, and we just got to keep pestering them.
Yeah, we got to get in the
show. Come on the show. Come on the show.
Got to get them the DMs now and be like, listen, sometime in 2026, let's carve out some time. Like let's put you on the calendar at least, so that we're not. Because what happens is it's a slow week. Oxie and I don't have a lot to talk about. Maybe there's been a content dry spell. And then we're like, oh yeah, we should get a guest. But then it's 3 days before we record. And it would be insane to expect anybody to be able to do that short of notice to be on a podcast. Unless it was somebody like, we could probably get Hanani within 3 days. Just because I think we've built that rapport with her. But anybody else, it wouldn't really work. So we got to get in those DMs. Yeah. And if you guys have anybody that you're connected to that you think would enjoy the show, I mean, that's how we've gotten a lot of our guests.
Or that you would like to hear on the show.
That too.
That too. Who do you guys want to listen to on the show? The other thing I think that we need to do better at is we need to do a better job of planning meetups. Like I think Michael and I need to have one of our classic business meetings here in the next couple of weeks. Yeah. And we need to look at locations probably in the United States. Probably. But yeah. But we have talked for several years. I don't want to put this out into the universe as anything official, but we have talked for several years about an Xpwaste Australia. And we don't know a fucking thing about Australia. So while in our brains, Sydney makes sense because it just seems like, isn't Sydney like the big capital of Australia? I could be wrong. I don't know.
I don't know, bro.
But I feel like if that's the case, we need to kind of like consult with people, which is why the United States is easier in all regards except for RuneFest. Because RuneFest, everything is laid out for you. Where do you go? Everyone is coming to that same place, right? Australia, we would need to like coordinate a lot. So it's not impossible. I don't know if it's entirely probable, but it's not impossible there's an Xpwaste Australia at some point. But I think the fabled Xpwaste East and Xpwaste West could and should happen, Yeah. We just have to find time to do them. We have to find time that doesn't intersect with Springo. Maybe we do it like shortly after Springo ends, because I swear to God, Springo's not going to be in fucking May this year. I'm shooting for a last week of March, first week of April Springo.
I'm
I'm
down
sorry
with
to
that.
everyone in advance if you guys are in school. I'm shooting for a spring go this year, and then we're shooting for a mid-October fall bingo. That's our goal. But
I would love to go to like anywhere in the West. I've heard like Vegas or the Pacific Northwest, maybe somewhere in California. Who knows? But I'm really looking forward to a West meetup because there's people out there that I've gotten to know personally. Like Ralph is out there, Nate is out there, and we have a lot of listeners that I think would show up for East also, but we've had a lot more people I think call for a West meetup than we have for an East meetup. Because if you live on the East Coast, chances are you probably could have gone to the Michigan one that we did for Xpwaste North. But something like if you live in California or on the West Coast in general, getting out to Texas or getting out to Michigan is a little bit more of an ask, especially when you're crossing time zones that drastically.
It is, but I think it's possible. You know,
I think so too. My schedule is going to be interesting, and I'll talk to you more about that off mic. But I was
gonna say, you said somebody said Michael was at a job. I'm like, that's crazy. I thought at the moment he didn't have one of those, and then you're like, yeah, I was at work. I'm like, for fucking who? This is the problem with bingo. Is Michael and I don't update each other on this shit.
Yeah,
like we have absolutely no idea what's going on. I took 4 days off of work for bingo, and I talked to Michael maybe twice.
One of those was when I was sick.
Nutty.
I think you were asking about the PayPal, and I had woken up from a nap, and you needed help. I was like, "Do you still need help, or are you good?" And then I
figured it out. Well, yeah. Well, I had to reimburse myself after somebody nuked my laptop with Riesling, so I gotta pick up my hard drive from my other laptop. Don't I? forgot about that. I was off all week. I should have picked it up last week. Completely forgot to do that. Yike!
You weren't off. You were doing bingo. There's a difference.
That is true, yeah. But I think the show has made great strides this year. You know, obviously we didn't hit a big milestone like 1 million or 10 million, you know, that green stack of views that we're always talking about. But I think the progress that we have made is great. And soon, assuming they still do it and it's not overrun by AI, soon we should have our yearly Spotify gift. It'd be fun. You know,
okay,
because they usually send us both one.
Yep,
which will be a good time. So when you get yours, Michael, because you check your mail, let me know, and I'll go check my mail because I don't get it delivered to my house. But
okay, yeah, I forgot about that. That is this time of year.
Yep.
Usually we get an email, so I'll keep you updated. I haven't seen anything as of late. Forgot about that. All right, do you want to pivot to account progress?
Sure, we'll check in our account progress for a little bit. As a caveat, next week is our goals episode. So next week we are going to
week after.
Yeah, not next week too. I'm so used to saying next week, knowing full well that we are on a bi-weekly schedule, and the next episode will not come out until January 1st. So that's how we're going to start 2026, is talking about our goals for the upcoming year. But for right now, we're going to check in on the goals that we have been working on this year. Michael, would you like to go first, or would you like me to go first?
I think I'll go first because my list is going to be a lot shorter. I could probably recount all of my goals.
I was going to say, well, let me tell you, my list of what I have achieved is also fairly short.
Oh, no.
Year, so we'll see how you're doing.
I was going to say, I could probably recount everything I've done within a single breath, and I'm not going to try that. But so just going down my list, I use the notes app within RuneLite. So if I'm looking over here, if you're watching the video and it looks like I'm not paying attention, 1, I'm doing some salvaging, but 2, I'm also trying to read my notes. So I really only had goals for the Iron Man this year, which that's going to change in 2026. I think more on that later. But for the Iron Man, I got a fair few done. And there are some caveats to what I consider done. And I'm going to get some shit from Oxie for it, but we'll dive into it. So the 2025 GIM goals as follows: 95 Slayer, done. Knocked that out a while ago. Actually, I think in the spring is when I got 95 Slayer, because I had 95 Slayer for a bingo that I did. I think it was Boon Bape's bingo. I had a Hydra task stored. And so I got 95 Slayer pretty early. The next one is base 99s in Comment minus prayer. as of the recording, I have not finished that goal. That one may get done by 2026. We'll just have to wait and see. Right now, the only one that's left is defense, and I just got 97 as of the day of recording. I got it during bingo, so literally 2 levels away from completing that goal. I did get 90 prayer this year, which I thought, that was actually fun to see. 90 prayer on an Ironman is something I never really thought I would get, just because prayer it's an interesting skill when you don't have access to it as a buyable skill, when you have to collect every resource for yourself as an Ironman, collecting all the bones, all the heads, all the bone shards, what have you, however you do it. It's a bit harder of a skill to train. Just for reference, I'm 90 prayer. I think I would, if I did it just by bone shards, it would be like 1.5 million bone shards to get to 99, which is insane. So that would be a lot of mining, a lot of whatever, hunter rumors, moons apparel, however I would do it to get to 99. Pretty crazy. Considering I only have like 4 Slayer levels left too. Next up on the goals, I wanted to get base 85s or 2200 total. I think at the time I had meant to write 2100 total, because I think even without sailing, base 85s was not even close to 2200 total. But I did achieve 2100 total pre-sailing. And at the time of recording, I'm like 2260 something, I think. So I achieved, or I'm sorry, I'm 2160 something. I achieved the 2100 total, and I got very close to 2200 with the help of sailing. But next year, we're going to push it a little bit, which is going to be fun. Next up on the goals list, I had Quest Cape, which that one's ongoing. But for my first Quest Cape, I wanted to have that checked off this year, and I did it. I think my last quest, the last quest that I did was was Monk's Friend, but the last major quest line that I completed, I think, was in the Varlamore, like the Final Dawn or something. I can't actually recall what quest I hadn't done yet, but got the Quest Cape done earlier this year, so maybe it wasn't Varlamore Part 3. I'm not sure. Next up, I had Achievement Diary, and I have fallen short of that one just by a little bit. The biggest skills that I missed the mark on for getting my diary cape this year was fishing and fletching. Fishing, I need 91, I think it is, with a boost.
90. That's the +6 is out now.
Oh, 6. So 90 with a +6, but I have to make that potion. Not a terrible thing to do. But yeah, I'm only 85 fishing right now. And then the other one is fletching, which I think you need, is it 90? Also 91 or 90? Because it's 95 to fletch the dart. So fletching is not too far off, considering that Veil Totems are quite chill to do, but I'm 85 fletching. I didn't mention it, but I didn't get base 85s. I was very close. The only 2 that I missed was crafting and fire making. Fire making, I could have done in a single day. I just didn't. And crafting, it really was like, I've got to make a shit ton of molten glass, and I didn't. So I'm 82 crafting, 82 fire making. Again, those might get finished by the end of the year. I'm not sure.
Mm-hmm.
We still have two-ish weeks before 2026 as of the time of recording. And so those may get done, just to say that I did them. But for the purposes of this episode, I have not reached base 85s. And the other thing is, like, do I count sailing in that? Because I'm 73 sailing on the Ironman. To go to 85, I think I would have to like completely drop everything that I'm doing and really push for that. So maybe not. We'll see once we release the episode in 2 weeks what happened there. Some miscellaneous goals that I had was I wanted to reach at least 500 clog slots. If I look myself up, I completed the year at 456. So kind of close, but no cigar on that one. Again, in the miscellaneous category here, Bofa, Voidwaker, and then I wrote significantly more Toa and Top KC. So Bofa's done. Voidwaker, I think that's going to be pushed to 2026. And then significantly more Toa and Tob. Well, let's have a look and see. I would say that I did achieve more Toa KC because
What'd you start with?
I don't remember. I should have wrote that down, but I don't remember. I'm at 52. So if you, I guess what do you count as significant? Because like, did I go to?
I guess what do you count? They're your goals.
That's the thing. Like, did I go to 300? No. Did I do a shit ton of Cox? Yes. But Toa, I like the only reason I was really doing Toa was because I wanted to get my thread back. And had they not changed the thing where you could just buy the thread from Purdue, I probably would have had a lot more Toa. Because the bitch is rare after you have one.
Just say, yeah, that is true. That change from Purdue that they made where you can buy the thread, that did impact it pretty early on in the year.
Mm-hmm.
When that change happened in October 29th of 2025.
I mean, up until then, I was doing...
You were grinding TOA for those near 11 months, right?
Don't come
grinding TOA.
And I got ranked in Theater of Blood. So there was a significant amount of Theater of Blood done when you consider that I started the year with 0 and I'm at 5.
And now you have
5. Yeah. So
Michael's the GOAT, honestly.
I just want to call out Tiki said, bitch, you didn't achieve a BOFA. You were given one. And that's the controversial take that I think I was going to get shit from Oxie, but I actually got shit from Tiki, is I count that as done. I mean, I'm still going to be going for a crystal. There's no doubt about it. I'm still going to be doing it.
Are you?
Yes.
And who are you going for crystal for?
So
you already have full crystal. In what university you need more crystal?
So
you were given all 6 pieces. You were good. Gauntlet is done on your account.
Fear Garden wants a Blade of Saldor. So I told him that I would give him an enhanced crystal weapon team.
Oh yeah. Okay. Fear ain't never getting the fucking blade.
He's going to. Tiki said it's done. He just didn't achieve it. Yeah, sure. Well, here's the fun part. So going into the stretch goals from Oxie, his stretch goals were Bandos item, Dragon Warhammer, and a Vernic Defender. All 3 of those are done. I technically got the Bandos item myself. I got Bandos boots.
Oh, right. Yeah,
I got Bandos boots.
Yeah, yep. Best in slot.
I got Bandos boots. But yes, I was given a Dragon Warhammer, and I was given a Vernic Defender. So those 2, Dunskies, check them off the list. And that's my goals for the year. Really, I missed the bar on getting base 85s and Achievement Diary. Those are the 2 that I was really pushing for that I didn't get, that I'm actually upset about. As far as goals go for the year.
I'll have to be more specific when I say collection log slots of your own.
Yeah, I think you
for
should.
Your stretch. Brace yourself for your stretch goals, because they're just going to be collection log slots.
Oh.
Nothing you can cheese. Nothing you can cheese by having your group mates give to you. So
Tiki just said Iron Man Light. And listen, dude, you can't be hating on GIMs. It's a different game mode. Yes, it's Iron Man Light, but like, still Iron Man. I can't go to the GE and buy this. It's a give and take.
But you sure as hell can claim you achieved it.
Yeah, baby.
Oh my god.
All right, Mr. Oxie, what do you have for your goals this year?
I'm gonna lay it out on the table right now. Obviously, the quiver's not done. I did make it to Soul during bingo, which, by the way, is the most disrespectful shit in the world. Nobody told me that Soul changes his dialogue based on how many attempts that you have at Soul.
Does he really?
This motherfucker had the audacity to pull up. I pulled up the Soul, and he says, "What's that they say? 3rd time's the charm? Let's see if that's true." Fuck you, Soul. Fuck you. Fuck you.
Is hilarious.
I was enraged. I picked Doom 1, so I had 15 mistakes. I think 8 or 9 of those mistakes were bad footwork, and that just threw me in the bin. It was not a great Soul attempt. I got sold to like 380 or something like that. But I've had 3 Souls this year, and I think I'm at the point where the brick walls don't really exist. my bingo team was actually super helpful. They taught me a corner trick, which was really nice for stacks, and they taught me a really nice like when in doubt, send it southeast tag, which works really well for like what we call the penis stacks that you just don't like, and you could destack them pretty well. So my Coliseum runs have been pretty good for the most part. I'm not like consistently planking on wave 4 or 5. Don't get me wrong, I'm still a shitter and will Oxie click out behind the pillar and kill myself. But like if you take the Oxie click mistakes out when I'm like, I think the last day of bingo, we spent several hours, me, Jack, Toilet, Accelerate, just doom sending Coliseum for a unique. Doom sending. It felt so bad. Coliseum does not feel great when you're looking for a unique and you can't get one. You know?
Yeah.
I think there's a chance I still get the quiver by the end of the year because at this point I'm too close to stop. So I might as well just finish it out. We'll see how she goes. We'll see what kind of time I have available. So yeah, quiver is obviously not done, and I might touch on it next week. I think I have decided that when the Mage Infernal Cape comes out from its wave-based minigame, just assume I'm not going for it. Don't ask me about it. Don't care. Don't ask me about it. Assume it's never going to get done. Don't even bother asking.
Peaked in high school.
That was, without question, the worst part of the year. Was people asking me how the quiver is going. I had some shitter with like 600 total level popped into the CC the other day and said, Oxie still doesn't have a quiver? What the hell is this? And I thought, this is somebody's alt account being a dick. I think the meanest thing I can do is not even respond because I don't even know who you are. But like, I think I'm done. I'm not. Just assume I'm not going for it. Because that was, Michael says, peaked in high school, having clearly never graduated high school, but we'll leave that shit talking for another day. But what I'm saying is the constant quiver talk has made me not want to play the game for so much of the year. So at this point, when the next cape comes out, don't ask. I'm not doing it. I'm not going for the grind. Don't ever ask me about a PVM grind ever again. Assume I've quit the game. Don't ever ask me about a PVM grind. That's a conversation for 2 weeks from now, though.
I do just want to point out that is something that could be studied. The amount of dedication you put into the Infernal Cape because people were hounding you about it, then 180-degree flip to I just don't even want to play. It was insane. It was not a good
I didn't
time
want
for
to
you.
play then either. I didn't want to play then either.
But Mama
you
didn't raise
don't
no
have
bitch.
the same kind of you didn't have the same kind of you don't have the same kind of competitive drive
I don't.
that I do in that way. You absolutely do not. And when people ask you about it, you're just like, no, I'm not going to do it. I don't care. Because there's nothing that you want that people antagonize you about that isn't guaranteed. Michael, how's the max cape going? Okay, I don't know. I'm like 30K away from 96 agility. I'm planning on maxing in March. Like that was there's no question about it. There's like an end date to it, right? You've never had anything where people like, how's 99 runecrafting going? I'm on paternity leave. Give me 3 weeks and I'll get it done.
Yeah.
Like we meme you for it, but like it's all guaranteed, right? None of that makes you not want to play the game because you're going to do it anyways. But I didn't want to play during the Inferno either.
No.
I didn't want to play when the Inferno grind was, I had no interest in playing. That's why there is on my old death screenshot folder, there was a 4-month gap in death screenshots. I just didn't go in.
Yeah.
And there was a 2-month gap before I went back in. And then there was another 2-month gap, right? Like I sent 112 attempts over the course of like a year and a half. I'm at like 78 attempts this year. I'm not even clocking 10 attempts a month at this point.
For Colo?
You know, like
or for Inferno?
For Coliseum, yeah. For Coliseum. I've not been back in the Inferno because I said I wouldn't go back until I have a quiver. I've had an Inferno task waiting in my storage for 9 months because I'm just like, I'm not going back to that shit without a quiver. It's been in my stored task forever. I haven't had a stored task access. So when the day comes, because at this point, it will come, right? I've said for years, there's no doubt in my mind, I'm just milking it. I really am. I mean, I've made it to Soul how many times? You just need to get a good wave with a good spawn and whatever. But I think going through it again with the quiver, it just sucks.
Mm-hmm.
You know? So like, don't ask. Whatever. Peaked in high school, needs to be studied. Put it in the book. Who fucking cares? Just assume I'm not going for the next cape. Don't ask me about Blood Torva. Don't ask me about Radiant Oathblade. Don't ask me about Master CAs. don't ever check in on me for a PVM grind ever again, because this shit has been terrible. I have never enjoyed RuneScape PVM less than when people ask me about it every single fucking day in conversation. In CC, I've never enjoyed it less. But no, that's not to say the quiver won't be done this year. You never know. There's still a chance, right? But I'm just saying, when the next one comes out, Oxie's not playing RuneScape. He's done. He doesn't exist anymore. I was very optimistic for this year that we were going to do a lot. And I did not do a fucking thing.
Oh, no.
I burnt out so hard.
Yeah.
I burnt out so fucking hard. This lack of membership scandal threw me off for the first month. Because I have on my GIM goals that we finally came back in like February on like Valentine's Day. We came back in because the memberships, like I just removed it from my GIM, removed it from my main, played like other video games for like months, you know, where you're still recording. If you remember the early part of the year, I just like wasn't really into it. But in doing so, I never did a lot of content. Phalanx, Mutagens, Twisted, Zuck KC, Total Boss KC, Total Raid KC, Master CAs, none of that got done. Progress was made, you know, less progress than I think it looks like because more CAs have come out. But like, I don't have any of the Yama CAs done. You want to know why that is? I went to Yama for the first week and a half and had some fun with it and then got like 35 KC. Genuinely have not been back. I don't even have the kill Yama once CA because I have not killed Yama since the CAs have come out. Right? It's like, I don't know. Same thing with Doom. Like Doom, I didn't do the quest the week of release or day of release, whatever it was. And I have like a wave 6 clear, maybe. Like I've PB'd at wave 7. Like I just don't have Doom done. So I think Doom and Soul are the only two bosses that I'm not ranked in. But they did actually adjust it on RuneLite this year, where you don't need 5 KC to get ranked anymore.
You just need one.
You just need one. You need 1 KC to be on the high score. So I think that goal, this is the last time we're going to see the goal in the goal sheet. Because all you got to do is kill it once. And then it's easy.
Yeah, done.
You know? But that's the last time. But no, PVM combat didn't go as well as I thought. Turns out you need to play the game to do a lot of combat. Pets? God damn, dude. I got NID on September 1st. And that's it. I got NID on September 1st. That's the only pet I've received this year. That's not nearly as travesty-esque as what has happened with purples.
Ooh.
I started the year with 1,124 raid completions. 1,124 raid completions. As of December 14th, I currently sit at 1,248 raid completions. So not nearly as many as I probably should have done, right? In 120 raids, I have received 0 purples. I have not yet received a purple in my name in 2025
Ooh.
that is not in a temporary game mode like Gridmaster. So there may be no purples on the log. We'll see. Miscellaneous achievements didn't do too bad. We actually got the Yuri transform a couple days ago from grinding hard clues. We started the year at 781 clogs. I wanted to get 1,000. We're going to finish it. I have 926 right now. Probably going to finish around 930, 935. No Rune Cup because they didn't have a league, which was big sad. How close am I to 500 million total XP? I got about 40 mil this year. I started at 446 and I'm at 480. So we're close to 500 mil. And I got my fucking Trim Music Cape back.
Nice.
Which is big.
Got that Easter event done?
I had we got Dots Yuletide, we got the fucking Sunny Side Up, we got the Easter, we got it all done. It's all done. Trim Music Cape is back. There is a new Christmas track. Go to the Blue Moon Inn in Varrock and get the new fucking Christmas track. Do it now, or you have to sit for a year without it. So go do it right now. I did not get like any gear this year. I did upgrade and get myself an Ember Light and a Scorching Bow, which was about 60 mil. So that was nice. My bank has actually lost about 700 mil because I have a big bank value thing. My bank has lost about 700 mil somehow. Probably the Shadow, if I'm being a betting man.
That's true.
I started the year at 5.36. I'm currently sitting at like 4.7, 4.89.
Yeah.
I don't know. And I haven't changed any of my gear. Stuff's just dropping in price. The GIM made a lot of progress, though. I will say the GIM has much more tangible and attainable goals. I got 99 fire making because Michael got his blowpipe.
Let's
I got it
go.
about a week after that. I got my assembler. I got my elite void. I got my blue salve. I got my imbued slayer helm. I got my imbued berserker ring. I hit base 90s. I have strength, hit points, and attack for base 90 combats. I'm 70k away from defense. And then I'm still fairly, I think I have like 87 range and 85 magic or something. So those aren't going to get hit 90s. I have 77 prayer for augury, which was given to me, TY Kings. I did add an armor seed to the pile. I'm much more confident in Corrupted Gauntlet now with my dog ass setups. I got Rigor too. Rigor was given to me because we had an extra.
Yeah.
Putting Rigor on, it's like belt to ass in Huntlift. Turns out using offensive prayers speeds up kills a lot. Who would have thought, right? Didn't do any elite diaries and procrastinated construction so bad, I still do not have a max house. I just have not trained construction. Michael set me the goals to get any 99 that isn't fire making. Which the closest skill that isn't fire making
Hit points,
is
probably.
hit points with 7.2 million XP. With the next closest probably being strength with 5.5 million. He also set me a goal to get my Abyssal Whip collection log. I don't know what I started the year with Slayer at, but I'm only at 75, so maybe not. And then for a stretch goal for myself, it was getting a Vernic, but I think that'll be an Avernic collection log. I'll try to go for the Avernic log. I don't need. We can give when we get an extra, we'll just give it to TMD or like save it for split money or something like that. I'll try to get my own Avernic. It makes a difference, but not enough of a difference for me to be like, oh my god, I need to take it like Rigor. You know,
Right.
So, yeah, the GIM progressed fairly well this year, which is nice. I should log into the GIM. I don't think I've logged into the GIM in weeks. If I'm being entirely honest with you.
No, you were
It's
logged
been
in during
weeks.
bingo, I'm pretty sure.
No,
You
I had
didn't
to give
AFK at
somebody
all?
the rapier.
Oh, yeah.
No, I thought about it on like Friday. I'm like, dude, I should have been sitting at Crab on the GIM this whole time.
Yeah.
I don't know why I didn't go to Crab.
I should have been
You know?
salvaging on my main this whole time.
Yeah, I was like, I should have sat at Crab. I did get some stuff done for sailing for you guys. I got some ores and things like that. I have currently 37 sailing on the iron, which is cool. And I don't have a Questcape anymore because I haven't done Final Dawn on the iron, but I had Questcape on the Iron Man. Did I get that this year or last year? I don't remember.
Got that this year. We got it. You got it like a week before me or something.
Well, because you were very close, and I was like, I'm just gonna fucking crank out the requirements, do Monkey Madness, and do all that stuff. Because I did get my assembler on 323, so it was probably around that time in March. And then I was like sneaking up behind you, and then you're like, "Oh, okay, yeah, that's fine. You can just get your Questcape first." Then I just lost all motivation to do Ribbiting Tail. I'm like, "You son of a bitch! You did that on purpose."
Well, listen. You know? We had a race.
You son of a bitch.
We had a race to get crystal shards, and you baited me. You didn't get
that was months later. But
we both had goals that we weren't super excited about.
I don't know. So yeah, I am happy with the GIM's progress this year. I look at the main account and I think to myself like, I think I need to reformulate the way I do my goals on my main next year because some of it is just so, I don't know if outlandish is the right word, but some of it just is so out of nowhere, you know, where like I should probably try to do one thing at a time. You know, I should maybe make like a list, like maybe make myself like an Iron Man path or something for my main and be like, this is the next upgrade. This is the next upgrade. This is the next upgrade, you know, because I'm at that shitty point in your main account where like, your next upgrade is making 500 million GP or like 1 billion GP or something like that. And it's just like, ugh, you know? So I think I've got some plans for how it's going to shake out next year. We'll just have to see, you know. I don't want to talk too much about it because I don't want you fucking rats drafting my bingo teammates. However, I do have high hopes.
Oh my gosh.
That folks from my bingo team, we just run a bunch of content and, you know, not be able to get hit by brick walls so aggressively like we did this year. But that's my year in review. Overall, I'd say I'm quite happy with it. I just got smashed mirror collection. Like scared the shit out of me. I thought I got the pet. I think it's been a good year overall. I'm very happy with the progress of the show. I'm very happy with the community. I'm very happy with how both bingos went this year. Very happy with the teams of people we have built up around us in TNL, how the community has grown and stayed alive, and at this point is its own ecosystem, if that makes sense. Like, it's not where like we need Michael and I in VC for anyone to interact anymore. You know, not that we don't like being in VC. We like being in VC, but it's at the point where like TNL has its regulars.
Yeah.
And that's great. I love to see that.
It exists outside of us, which I think is amazing.
Exactly.
Yeah, I've never really thought about that, which is it's cool to see.
It's very cool. But I think that is where, unless you have any final thoughts, good sir.
Yeah. 2025 wasn't, I don't think it was the year that we both expected. And I think that for me, it's going, like, looking back at this year, it's definitely going to affect how I formulate and theorize my goals for 2026 in the realm of being more realistic, just like you said, with like what I know I can do and not overshooting it. I don't think I overshot it by too much, but I definitely am going to be way more conservative for 2026. But I think it's still going to be fun. I think it's still going to be fun.
Yeah. I don't think using, like, I mean, I just think it's a little funny. I don't think I will ever admit to being more conservative for anything, but I do think restructuring my goals in a way that makes more sense, because I think in past years, I've just sort of been like, yeah, we'll do all this, we'll do all of these things. And then I look at them and I'm like, God damn, I don't want to do any of that.
Right.
You know? So I think I have various years, right? Like, let me pull up my past goal sheets here. Let me see what I can find. So within the past couple of years, right? Like 2024 was obviously the maxing year where we got all our 99s and our goal sheet looked really great. We had a bunch of purples. We did our buyable skills. We did our shadow rebuild. 2023 was the Tebow rebuild year where we did hella, and I mean hella content. We got ranked at top TOA. We got ranked at all the new bosses from DT2. We did get our second Infernal Cape. We got a bunch of gear that we ended up buying and reselling again because we did the Tebow rebuild, which was 1.4 bill. 2022 was the Infernal Cape year where we spent the entire time doing the Inferno. Leagues 3 was on the table. We got the Jad transmog. So like every year it's been, you know, the Inferno year, the year of progress, the year of maxing. This felt like it was supposed to be the year of like making some money, the golden year. It was the year of ashes, the year of burnout, you know, the year of the year of stagnation, right? And I think after some conversations with my bingo folks, next year's got to be the year when we get good at the game. You know, I was telling people that like I'm good at every boss that came out before 2023. I'm good. I'm set. Anything after like DT2, it's hit or miss. So I gotta catch up with the times and not look and act like I still play in 2016. So yeah, maybe that'll be the goal for next year. But we'll talk about that a little bit next week as we restructure our goals. With that, though, Michael and I are going to send you guys off to a break. We know this first half has been a little bit longer. It's post-bingo. We're yapping, and we're talking about ourselves, a detrimental combination. But we will see you guys here very shortly after this for our various community sections and achievement of the year. Woo! See y'all soon.
Hey, how's it going? Name's Tony. Some people call me Fat Tony. I don't really know how I feel about that. But welcome to my pizza shop. This is Tony's Pizza Bases, located out here in the wilderness. I don't know how to feel about that, but it's the kind of the hand you're dealt, you know? I can hear you asking me right now, Fat Tony, why are you out in the wilderness? Why are you out there? Well, I'm fleeing for my life, you know? I had to flee Misthalin. There's this nasty rumor about me that I poisoned old King Rold. There's no basis for that. So you come into my shop out here in the wilderness, what you gonna get? I got everything you need to make a pizza. Got your cheeses, Got your tomatoes? Hey, and if you kill a rat out there, I'm sure you could probably find some meat for your pizza, but if you ain't into that, I don't know what to tell you. If you come out here, come out to the wilderness, I'll make you a pizza you write your mama about it. I know it's gonna be dangerous, right? I know that. But I'll tell you right now, it's worth the risk. Come and see Fat Tony. Come and see for yourself. Your time is valuable, and so is mine. I got some bandits to feed. They're getting kind of hungry. I'm gonna hit you with my tagline and close it out. Here we go. The name's Fat Tony. I'm an expert in pizzas, both the making and the eating. Oh, real quick before I go. If you're ever out in Drano Village, I got a cousin named Fortunato. Tell him Fat Tony said hey.
Welcome back. I hope you enjoyed that commercial because I know that I sure did. Folks, it's time for us now to shout out the patrons, the people who support us every month financially because they are wonderful. We're going to kick things off this week by shouting out our newest wise old man patron, Mr. James F. Thank you so much for your contribution at the wise old man tier. Your name should be on screen now alongside every other wise old man patron who's currently on the screen right now. Fun little story for you guys. So it's Christmas time, you know, it's December, it's Christmas time. And we were talking last night about how the Epiphany is, you know, again, culturally Catholic. The Epiphany is the day that the wise men showed up to see baby Jesus in the manger or whatever. And while discussing it, the missus, who did not grow up religious at all, said, and she's going to kill me for putting this on the podcast. She's like, yeah, okay, so January 6th is the day when the wise old men showed up to whatever. And I looked over at her, I'm like, that's not what they said. Like, just kind of laughing. I'm like, what? Wise old man is the RuneScape thing. It is the Xpwaste podcast here. She was laughing at that because she's like, holy shit, listening to this episode as like sleep ASMR, I am retaining something, just not the right things. Because she was fully just like, yeah, the wise old men come and they see, you know, Jesus on January 6th in the Epiphany. I'm like, almost, or right there. So, that's a fun little story for you wise old men making the trek across the desert at Christmas time
to see baby Jesus.
But I got a kick out of that, and she did too. She's like, I'm glad that I am. You can tell I'm actually listening now. But
that's great.
Anyways, we are going to move on from our wonderful wise old men, and we are going to shout out our KBD tier patrons. So big ups to my bingo teammate, Two to Fly. What up, big dog? Sorry about the wilderness. Finished that too quick for you. My dad. Hi, Dad. Cloud Kicker, my bingo teammate, Crash Out Jack, who just finished his grill task, and after months of hunting for it felt like through bingo, got a gargoyles task. When the world needed him most, we couldn't get a gargoyles task, but here we are. Elite Oreo Dunker, Glob Mob, Kieran, returning to the Wise Old Man tier.
KBD.
Our third favorite Patreon support, Wise Old Man, KBD tier. Michael said KBD. Kieran's back, everyone. Good to see you, Wallenby. Run Metal 15, Ryan M, Rylithian, Sparky Life, Stragarius, and the Big G Jordy. Thank you guys so much for your support at the King Black Dragon tier. You guys are fantastic. We hope you guys keep enjoying the show into 2026, and we hope your guys' contributions throughout 2025 was worth it, right? Speaking of contributions throughout 2025, we do have one more tier that we are going to shout out, and that is our Tiz Talk Jad tier. We're going to shout them out by name because they are awesome. So, kicking us off in the Jad tier is Franz. And that's just what I'm going to leave it at, because honestly, I don't know if the other name is your legal last name or not. I don't know. So if that's a username, let us know, Franz, so we can shout you out properly by name. But I'm not gonna say that's potentially your last name. I'm not gonna do that. Kyrandia, Mithril Fork, Petite River, Pirate Captain Satan 666, Yarg. Rack and Roll, Soggy Waffles, the S tier Deviled Egg, and of course, Wolaznik. Thank you guys so much for your support at the Jad tier. Show us your new shirts. Have the new shirts been shipped out yet? I think so. I feel like they got shipped out a while ago.
Probably.
You know, show us your new shirts. Let us know how they are. And we got to figure out going into next year if we have to put new shirt designs in. I think we should put new shirt designs in.
Or do something else, like coffee cups or something.
Yeah, maybe give you guys a different prize for subscribing every 3 months. But anyways, that's our Patreon. If you want to support us monetarily for the last 10 minutes of 2025 or into 2026, you can head over to patreon.com/Xpwaste and you can subscribe for as little as $1 a month with the Gnome Child tier. Shout out to the Gnome Children. We should have a live stream coming up soon, and Michael's going to get pissed off at me when I tell him I'm probably not going to be free on the 19th because I'm going out. So it's going to be one of these days we have it. I busy woman all the time. We should know this by now. Busy woman all the time. We'll figure it out. But maybe we'll reworkshop the live streams.
I think we have to. I think we need
we'll
to.
figure something. We'll figure something out for 2026, you guys. We keep hosing the party Pete here. But anyways, go check us out on Patreon if that's something you want to do, or don't. I'm not your mom. The show is free. You can listen to it wherever you want. But yeah, you guys are awesome. I am, however, going to throw it over to Michael, talk about community question, and definitely not do achievement of the week. So, Michael, take it away.
Yo, it's me, Michael, back with another community question, and this one is going to be short. So I am so sorry, Oxie. I was definitely thrown off seeing. I saw 27 comments on the last episode in Spotify, but I kid you not, 25 of those or 24 of those are talking about how they can't hear the episode.
Son of a bitch! So many people were like, "I can't hear the episode. I can't hear the episode." Like, respectfully, after the first comment, we knew. After the 25th comment, we also
No,
knew.
it was good for me because what I was doing behind the scenes was I was re-rendering the video and then re-uploading the file. So the people who continually kept saying I can't hear it, it was actually useful for me because, like, I kid you not, I tried to upload that bitch like 4 different times. And then finally, I think it was you, Oxie, that was like, can we just try it without the video? I was like, yeah, I mean, anything's possible.
We kind of have
to. And so it finally worked now. There's no video. But yeah, we're going to start out this week by going on Spotify. We asked you guys 2 weeks ago if the hall color customization became an option, how would it be implemented and what color hall would you choose? And this is for your boats, obviously. So starting out on Spotify, Nutmore says, I would like to dye my boat white with seagull shit. Interesting. And finally on Spotify, there's literally 2 comments here. Wingram says, I want to run over Krakens with my boat to dye the hull black with their inky insides. Spotify got a little weird this week, but you can't blame them. There's not many ways you could like formulate a fun way to get boat dyes, but we're going to move on to YouTube now for this incredibly short community question. We asked you guys the same question. If hull color customization became an option, how would it be implemented and what color hull would you choose? Starting out, Haze Shades, we got all black graceful, so why not an all black out boat? I agree. I think a blacked out boat would look sick. Now, realistically, if you had an all blacked out boat and it was out in the sun constantly, I think that would be miserable, like for real life. But notoriously, like cool pirates are associated with like dark black spooky ships. So like give me like a ghost sail that's a little bit ripped and maybe has a glowy aura around it. Just to look cool.
I think the issue with black hulls for any boat is that they're hard to see on the water.
Oh yeah.
So without proper radar detection, it's very hard to see an all black everything boat, especially at night. It's not like a car where they have lights built into them, right? I think it's very difficult to see an all black everything boat.
So it's
which is why they're not super common.
Yeah.
But like it's not stealth in a good way. It's like you're gonna get run over by a freighter.
I see.
Like,
true.
So like if you don't have like radar stuff on your boat, like if you have a tiny little dinghy fishing boat, you're gonna get like fucking destroyed by another boat because they're not gonna see you and they're gonna slam right into you. So it's more of a safety hazard, I think. But
Yeah.
I don't own a boat, so I couldn't tell you.
It makes sense. Makes sense. The bearded person in our recording booth chat said the Black Pearl-esque boat theme. Yes, that's what I'm thinking. Better way of saying it. That's exactly what I thought. Like, I just want to look spooky and I want to look cool. I want like barnacles on the side growing up it, you know? Give me the Black Pearl, but in RuneScape. Moving on though, next up, Dinosaur says, I would love to see the untradeable flexes like Infernal Cape, Quiver, Sanguine, be able to be shown on your hull or the sails or something. Kind of how the trial flags are shown on the ship, but aren't consumed when you build it. You would go to the shipyard with your Fang kit, and there would be an option for the Amasket's Rain cosmetic sails as an override, or something like that without consuming the item. You also have the untradeable flex now, so you can show everyone as you pass on the seas what you've done in your journey. That's an idea, and like that's totally doable for what I think the capabilities of this game are. The fact that we can have like items that don't get used up but still get used, it seems highly possible. Next up, though, LT Potato says, I could definitely see ornament kits for our boats coming from Leagues or Gridmaster. I'm sure they can get pretty creative with that. Agreed.
You said Lieutenant Potato responded? It's a
LT
name
Potato?
I've not heard in a long time.
Is that,
Welcome back.
Is that
It's the old host of Tryhards,
Oh,
isn't
okay.
it? It's the old Tryhards
LT
host.
Yeah. Okay. What's up? I thought that was familiar, but I don't want to like say for sure. Hello. Next up, though, Melvin Man says there's currently no room for individual expression in sailing. That's why I say it's time to let players upload an image for their boat haul. Any image, no limit, no censorship, no problem. Just like custom embeds in COD Black Ops. That would be terrible. No limits, no exceptions? Brother, this is the internet you're talking about. That would be actually terrible. Next up, though, Slothus says, Solthus? I'd like customization of the figurehead, boat coating as a front and back gradient, sail pattern, and what color your flag is. The figurehead would be cool. Right now, it's just this like, it's something to help the sails. It's like a stick. But if we could have like a mermaid on the front or a shark on the front, that would be really, really cool. Boats in general are just like they can be really unique. Sure, you've got your stock standard types of boats that don't really change, but for the most part, I mean, you can get really, really creative with a boat IRL. And I hope that in the coming years, something changes to where we get more customization options. But that's going to do it for the community question. I forgot to say that was the last one. So, like I said, it's another shorter one, but you know, I think there was a lot of engagement. People maybe got distracted with the fact that they couldn't hear the episode. It did do wonders for our YouTube algorithm though, because we got 1,000 views on YouTube, where normally we get like 300. So
holy shit, 1,000 views.
It's not a lot, but it's something. But again, that's going to do it for a community question. Thank you so much to everybody who answered the question from 2 weeks ago. If you want to answer this episode's question, I won't say this week because we're going to answer it in the coming weeks, but this episode's question is going to be tied to goals for 2026. Had I thought ahead and had I remembered what episode we did today, it would have been a question about goals and what you did in 2025. But I want to know, what is your biggest goal for 2026? You don't have to give us all of them. Let's just say, what is your what goal are you most excited for in 2026? You can answer that in the comment section on Spotify or under the pinned comment of this YouTube video. I would say we're throwing it over to Oxie, but I'm not sure if he's done.
Because we are, baby. Welcome, folks, to Achievement of the Week, the final achievement of the week for 2025. It's not a very big one, but we have more bonus stuff afterwards. So during bingo, people go incredibly hard, get a bunch of drops, a bunch of pets. But drops and pets aren't achievements, as we know, right? In most cases, that is. When Tiki gets his enhanced, we're all going to lose our fucking minds. But that's neither here nor there. I'm going to kick things off this week with the miscellaneous category with one lone achievement. Remake achieved their diary cape this week. Congratulations, big dog. Took a long time. what you got there. Some people reacted with the milk emoji, so I don't know how long it's actually been, but anyways, it's done. Moving on over to the combat category this week. Again, another light one, but we do have 3 first fire capes, which are big ones. We have Trip, Prairie Gold, and Puck Tech. Those are our 3 first fire capes this week. I believe all 3 of them were during or just before bingo for prep for bingo, which is sick. So you guys are going real hard on the bingo prep if we're getting fire capes beforehand. That's awesome. We love to see. Additionally, we have some more first. Bingo teammate Steel Beams, our boy. You guys are never getting Steel Beams back. He's one of ours now. He completed Gauntlet for the first time. Dean completed CG for the first time. Fuck you, Dean. And 12-bar Jumpy killed Zulra for the first time during bingo for the good old Zulra skill collection log slot. Additionally, just because we haven't heard enough from him, my boy Steel Beams also completed the hard combat achievements this week. So the last 2 weeks, whichever it is, hell yeah, big dog. Good old Diary Beams out there doing his combat diaries. Rounding things out, though, for this achievement of the week, the final one of the year is the skilling category this week. So, kicking us off, we have Left GF for XP, who achieved 99 sailing and also got 25 million today, I saw. So, he's going to be pushing for 200 mil, I bet. Ouroboros, who might be a bit of a psychopath, achieved their first 99 with a 99 agility. Mithril Fork achieved 99 magic. Trillin achieved 99 strength on the UIM and 99 attack and mage on the main. White Light West achieved 99 farming. Recycle Please achieved 99 sailing. And the Bonk also achieved 99 sailing, both of which have remaxed their account. Toddy has achieved 99 sailing as well, speaking of remaxing accounts. Tizket Rad achieved 99 hit points. Sippo GIM achieved 99 Herblore. For Vitney, on the road to Max 2 Electric Boogaloo, has surpassed 2350 total level and has achieved 99 sailing. We're close, folks. We're close. Shady has achieved 99 attack. Legend Gary, who had an absolutely busting, full Christian term busting week in bingo with the drops that this man got. Man, we got Missouri and a Tebow this week.
You got a Tebow?
As well as yes, Legend Gary had a Tebow. Legend Gary got a Tebow, and of course, the first thing in CC was like, hell yeah, his buy-in for the next bingo has been paid. So
oh no,
he has had an absolutely phenomenal week
Holy
in bingo
cow.
this week. But he achieved 99 mining, 12-bar Jumpy again for the double-double this week, achieved 99 hit points, and this morning, Apex Wolf achieved 99 defense. We got a few more achievements to round out this section here, with Beats by Steve achieving 2200 total level, and one of our lead boss tutors, Riley Jahari's, achieving 2200 total level as well. So man's out here sailing around on Radiant Oathplate with Radiant Oathplate and a GM helm, but not 2200 total level until now. So our lead skilling tutor is finally in the 2200 worlds, which is nice. I will say, if you guys have the total levels and you need to do wilderness content for any reason, 2350 worlds make me want to remove PvP from the wilderness.
Because it's so nice.
2350 worlds are so nice. 2350 worlds are impeccable. 2350 worlds are wonderful. For now, yes, they're very nice. But while that is the end of achievement of the week, it is not achievement of the year. And that is what we're going to talk about here. We're going to touch on achievement of the year. So every year, you guys know this, we do a check-in with everyone in the community, and we shout out, not every single person because they'd be here forever, but we shout out in general the number of people who have achieved various things, right? Sometimes if there's a few of them, we might be able to shout them out by name just based on their Discord reactions. But I'm going to kick things off here. We have our 3 different categories. We have skilling, combat, and miscellaneous. A bunch of people responded. Thank you guys so much for doing all that. I love when we have that kind of engagement. Like I was worried because I'm like, dude, I'm posting it like the Saturday at bingo. It's like 11:30. Like I think I posted this too late. I don't think people are going to respond. Hundreds of reactions immediately. I'm like, oh, hell yeah. This is awesome. So kicking us off, any 99. 125 people in our community achieved any 99 this year. 59 people achieved a 2K total this year. 39 people achieved 2200 total this year. Sorry. And 15 people achieved 2277 before the release of Sailing. There are also 8 people who have achieved 99 Sailing and 3 psychopaths, Fortimus, Frozen City, and Twin Rova, who have achieved 200 mil alls. And I know Left GF for XP is in there too.
He is.
So we've achieved a 200 mil total XP in any single skill. Not 200 mil all, 200 mil XP in a skill. Moving on over to the combat category this week, we have 31 first fire capes, 28 first Zulras, 24 first gauntlets, 14 first corrupted gauntlets, 3 first Fazani's nightmares. Any tier of combat achievements, we have 78 people achieved any tier of CAs from easy all the way up to GMs. We have 20 Missouri kits, 10 ward kits, 7 fang kits, 13 quivers, 3 sets of Radiant Oathplate, 3 sets of Blood Torva. The 3 sets for Radiant are Rock Arm Man, Tej, and Ibu, and the 3 sets of Blood Torva are Pondman, Twin Rova, and Broskivi. Yeah, Broskivi. We also have 2 GMs this year with Tej and Twin Rova. I believe did Riley get GMs this year? I'm not sure. And then Toddy also got GMs as well. So we've had quite a few GMs pop up. And of course, rounding out the combat category, we do have 20 Infernal Capes. There were too many reactions on that message, so I had to send a second message for the miscellaneous category. So I appreciate you guys reading that and responding to that as well. We had 46 people get their quest cape, 21 people get their diary cape, 21 people get their music cape. Echo Thomas, the Great Korend, and Jay Goose are the 3 psychopaths who achieved their champion's cape, and 31 people who achieved any major collection log milestone. Bartaker also just achieved 99 attack. That one's a little late, but I just saw it pop up in the CC at 4:04 p.m. GZ Bartaker. Aren't you? Is Bartaker an Aussie? I'm not sure. I thought he was on the Aussie team. I don't know. But congratulations, Bartaker.
Swole also got his champion's cape. He didn't react, though.
Oh, Swole got a champion's cape. Again, maniac. But that's achievement of the year. You guys have done so many awesome things this year, and I know not everyone reacted. I know we didn't give it enough time for everyone to respond. We don't ever get the full picture, right, of just how many achievements there are. Maybe in 2026, what I will do is I will sort of like add a new page above achievement of the week every week, and then at the end of the year, we will tally all of the 99s we received, and we will tally all the different people, so we have an accurate count of how many people achieved something awesome, because so many of you have achieved something awesome. And if you do that in 2026 and you want to tell us about it, head over to discord.gg/OSRSTNL, post about it in the levels and achievements chat, whether it is Blood Torva, Grandmaster Helm, Max Cape, 99 Sailing, Diary Cape, Champions Cape, or just base 70s. You know, your first completed Barrows run, we don't care. Dragon Slayer 2 completion, DT2 completion, we don't care. Tell us about it. We have the greatest community in the world, who at the moment is admittedly a little burned out from bingo. So there are no Sunday Raiders, but there are people in their team VCs, because people are going to be in their team VCs until we take those down, because people like those.
Yeah.
Team VCs are quite nice. But if you're like, oh my God, they lied, there's people here and they're not there. Oh my God. And Soggy Waffles posted 3 minutes ago that he achieved 99 boyfriend and proposed. Hope she said yes to marrying a Bears fan. But
let's go, bro.
Anyways.
What a cutie.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful picture.
That really is a beautiful picture. That is, I don't know how you managed to stage that, Soggy, but that is a beautiful picture.
Well done.
We're not going to put it on screen.
No, but just imagine a beautiful Christmas tree, 2 beautiful people, and a proposal.
Yeah. hottest Bears fan I know. You know. Anyways, that's achievement of the year. You guys are awesome, and we look forward so much to seeing all the awesome things you guys do in 2026. That said, though, it is time to ask if Michael has a fun question for us for the last time in 2025.
Hell yeah.
And I sure hope the answer is yes.
The answer is postcard. Look at that beautiful,
Ooh.
cool.
From Sydney, Australia.
Yeah, and it's holographic,
Damn.
bro.
That's cool as hell.
Yeah,
That is
thick.
cool as hell.
thick.
God damn.
Okay, so we have a fun question, but I want to read the postcard first. It says, "Hi, Michael and Oxie. Adam, aka Clogs, please here from Australia.
Hey.
Loving the podcast and looking forward to the annual Thanksgiving episode, which my wife tunes in for." That's a little bit late. Let's see.
A little bit late. We should have read this. We should have read this one last week, but I believe we did the bingo tile last. So, and we also recorded the Thanksgiving episode way in advance.
I think I had this last week or whenever we recorded last. So it took a
Well,
while
whatever
for
it
it to come in the
was.
mail and for me to also find it. But yes, I hope you enjoyed the Thanksgiving episode, Clogs, please. It's the one that my wife tunes in for. Fun fact: we should be vacationing in the US when it comes out. In the theme of Thanksgiving food, here's my list of Australian classics. Australian food tier list. First of all, in the S tier, we have, oh God, fairy bread. Is that fairy bread? Chicken parmigiana, Milo and Tim Tams. In the A tier, pavlova, Vegemite toast. In the B tier, sausage rolls. In the C tier, lamington. And in the F tier, meat pie, parentheses, sorry, swole, and burnt barbecue sausages. I know a couple of those. I'm not sure if the first one is fairy bread because it looks like that's a G, but that word doesn't make sense. So correct me if I'm wrong, Clogs, please. It says FAIRG or FAIRY. Who knows? And finally, for the fun question, what is your favorite seasonal food aside from Thanksgiving? Yeah. He says, P.S. The postcard surface was hard to write on, so I had to write on some paper. So got a little bit of paper taped to the postcard here, and it's very, very beautiful. This one actually came in an envelope too, because I don't think he wanted like this paper to get ripped off. But hell yeah. Thank you so much, Clogs, please. Again, I'll read that fun question to you, Oxie. What is your favorite seasonal food aside from Thanksgiving? I bet you got some.
My favorite seasonal food. Michael, I grew up fat. I got tons of favorite seasonal foods. Oh, God. My favorite seasonal food. You know what I really, really like? That's just the first one that pops into my head. Around Easter time, I fucking love robin eggs. And you want to know why I like robin eggs? Because they're like malt wafer candies. They're like Whoppers. I love robin eggs so much around Easter time. They're so good. Michael's gonna fucking hate them, but I think they're so good. I normally make my grandmother's old cheesecake recipe around the time of the holidays, so that always feels like a nice little holiday treat. I do like that quite a bit. I always have my other grandma's brownies. Both of my late grandmothers had great desserts that I do love. I have my grandma's brownies around Christmas time. Those are always really good. They obviously don't taste the same since she died, but she died 18 years ago. So what can you do? I was also a child. So her brownies are always really good. I always make sure I have 2 or 3 or 6, just depending on, who's all there. But other really good like seasonal holiday foods that I like having, eggnog. I'm a nog guy. I'm not like an obsessive. I don't drink like gallons and gallons of it, but like I'll buy a quart of nog, and enjoy some nog, especially on Christmas morning. Ooh, love it so much. Big nog guy. Not like a huge nog, but big nog guy, but not a huge nog guy, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I'm not drinking it like by the gallon.
Sure.
But I appreciate a good nog.
Nice. I've never been
What
a
are some
nog
ones
guy.
that come to mind for you? I'm sure I'll keep thinking.
You'll keep
What
thinking.
do you got?
So potato latkes, I really like those. I don't remember specifically which holiday, but the Jewish side of my family pretty much made them. And I say the Jewish side of my family, it was one cousin who we're really close to. She was like a grandma.
I didn't know you had a Jewish side of the family.
It's my mom's side of the family, but it was
just like, I thought you grew up Christian.
I did.
Who cares? But I just didn't know you had a.
Yeah, it was one cousin who was more like a grandma. Anyway, she made potato latkes, or potato pancakes, if that's how you guys know them. But yeah, potato pancakes are really good. And then I also like eggs for Easter, but I like the Cadbury eggs. You ever had the Cadbury eggs?
I have, yes.
They're delicious.
I
I
have.
eat way too many of them around Easter time. Like way too many. Like I think my mom will buy like several bags and give us each kid a couple bags and go through those too quickly. But for Christmas is really where my favorites shine. So we've got puppy chow. My mom makes this thing called 7-layer candy, which it's more of like a candy bar than like candy. It's really good. Look it up. And then Buckeyes. So I'm from Ohio, obviously, and I haven't had Buckeyes in a long time, but I do remember it was a staple of my childhood that we would have Buckeyes around Christmas time. Same with the puppy chow. My wife makes such good puppy chow that whenever she does a batch, it's gone within like 48 hours.
She does make some pretty good she does make some pretty good puppy chow, I'm not gonna lie.
Oh yeah, you had it. Hell yeah.
Yeah, I was there when she was making
Yeah.
it. She does make some pretty good puppy chow,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie.
Yep. I was thinking about whenever you're talking about your grandma's cookies and or the cheesecake and the brownies. One day you're gonna have grandkids and be like, I made Grandpa Oxie's brownies. They were so good. They're gonna have,
I made those brownies one time. I don't think I have ever locked in on a recipe so much in my life. You've seen me cook.
I have.
You've said I don't give a fuck. I'll just like throw shit in there and figure it out and it's good enough. I will just fuck it, we ball. Which is why I don't bake very well, because you cannot ball when you bake. You must follow the instructions, which I'm not always the best at. And my mom told me that you need to constantly whisk the chocolate as it heats up or it's going to get curdled and crunchy and gross.
Yeah.
I don't think I have ever locked in so hard to make brownies ever. My mom had not had the brownies since my grandma died. And she's like, the ones you made are damn near the closest thing I think people could get.
Wow.
So if I lock the fuck in, I can make those brownies, but it requires a level of mental focus that is just not needed by any other dish I make. The cheesecake, eyes closed. I made that shit so many times. It is one of my grandma's recipes, 100%. I have the photos of her. I still have the recipes at my sister's house, our childhood home, but I have the pictures in her handwriting.
Aww.
And it's not that I don't treat it with the same level of reverence. I just don't need to. Buy the book. I don't even need to look at the recipe. I know the ingredients. I can get what you need to get. The brownies, I don't know. It was like Hurt Locker, dude. It fucked up one thing, blew the entire recipe to pieces.
Nice.
But yeah, it is weird if you think about it, where the recipes that your family made that you know how to make, you will make for your kids and eventually your grandkids, and they will form an emotional attachment to what could be the most, I don't want to say meaningless, but like what could be like, you found a recipe on TikTok that you like in 2022.
Yeah.
And you made it for people and you made it for your kids and they loved it and you wrote it down and they make it for their kids. And then suddenly because that's how it happened, like prior to TikTok, it was just like recipes in newspapers.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I promise you my grandma did not formulate that cheesecake recipe on her own. I fucking promise you that. She found it in a newspaper. My grandma was a frugal woman, did not have a lot of money for most of her life. That is a poor people's cheesecake. Compared to the shit you see in the store, it is the most basic form of cheesecake possible. Probably from the 40s or 50s, cut from a newspaper, cheap ingredients. And it's like, oh, I'll fuck that thing up. I don't even need a fork. Just let me at it. I love it. But I've taken it for other people and they're like, oh, it's a cheesecake. Like, it's just a basic. It doesn't have like any weird swirly shit in it. I've mixed it up a little bit and I've added like Oreos to the crust and things like that. I've gotten kind of fancy sometimes, but it doesn't compete with other people who can make like a nice modern cheesecake, if that makes sense. So the recipes that you're making now that you're finding on websites or TikTok or Instagram or what have you, the recipes that you think to yourself like, yeah, whatever, it's cheap, it's easy, it's fun. If you make it enough for the right people, could potentially become a family recipe, because that's how food and people works.
Love it.
So don't sleep on your and your weird little recipes that you're like, yeah, maybe I'll make this for people, see if they like it. Don't sleep on that. Could be a new family tradition.
Yeah, nice.
But
Well, thank you so much, Clogs.
Very
Please,
nice.
for the coolest postcard I think we've received to date. This is neat. Like this video is not doing this justice. Like this is really cool. It definitely looks 3D, and I love it. So, thank you, Clogs. Please, if you want to send us a postcard, you can do so by checking out the description. We have the PO box link there, or the PO box address there, I should say. It's relevant now. It's 2376. It's PO box 2376.
we've waited years for this moment. We've waited years for this moment.
It's finally
Michael
relevant.
booked that PO box like 2 fucking years ago.
Yep.
And he's like, should I get 2277 or 2376? And I think like 2277 wasn't available
Yeah, it
or
was
something.
taken.
And you're like, do I get 2376? I'm like, what's the significance of that? He's like, it'll be the new total level number when sailing comes out. I'm like, oh shit. Yeah, sure. And it's been years of waiting.
Finally.
2376, baby.
Finally.
We thought ahead. We thought ahead for once. Look at us.
Yay. So yeah, PO Box 2376, Keller, Texas 76244. Send us your postcards with your fun questions, or you can post them in Discord in the fun question section if you're a patron, or you can DM it to me or email it to us or send it by carrier pigeon. However you got to do it, get it to us and we'll potentially answer it on the show. Yeah, thank you for the postcard.
Thank you so much. It has been a banger of an episode. It's been a banger of a year here in 2025. And we would like to thank you all so much for joining us on this year from January all the way until now, December 18th, 2025, when this episode comes out, I think. The last episode of the year. You guys have been wonderful. We look forward to filling your ear holes throughout 2026. If you guys need us, you know where to find us. Linktree is in the description down below. Come hang out in our Discord. Keep an eye out for live streams if you're part of the Patreon. We don't know if we're going to have them or not in 2026. We'll have to have a business meeting and figure that out. But until we figure all that out, this is where we're going to leave you. So enjoy the holiday season with your friends, your family, and all your fellow RuneScapers. And we will see you guys in 2026. Bye, everyone.
Bye.